So I was right. So right here, verse 35. They have built altars to Baal and sacrificed their sons and daughters to the god Molech. I did not command them to do this, and it did not even enter my mind that they would do such a thing, and made the people of Judah sin. Why do you think I thought about it? It did not enter God's mind. And yet we know that God knows all things. He foreknew all things. So I was thinking, why did God say that it did not even enter his mind? You know, like these things that the people do. And I was like perplexed for like a whole day. And then yesterday, like putting together what Natasha Crane said about evil and God's character that can't be contradict himself. What do you think it is? I want to see if you arrive at the same conclusion too.
No, he's incapable of thinking bad things.
Yeah, I was laying there and she was talking about evil and how there are real evil, right? Like these stuff are pretty much like real evil that the people are doing. And then I'm like, God can't contradict himself. There is a limit to what he can do. Like, for example, he can't make a circle a square or a square a circle or build a big rock that he can't carry. Those are contradictory and impossible to God. That doesn't mean that he's not all powerful, right? And so, but then God is all good and there's no evil found in him. He can't even think evil thoughts. So evil that we do, those thoughts aren't planted by God. And because he is so good, he can't even
Oh, yeah, I understand. Yeah,
evil.
okay. Yeah, that's very interesting.
Yeah. And then but then I thought about death. But the curse of sin, the punishment for sin is death. And so I thought.
Well, I mean, but then he did command, "Thou shalt not," the 10 Commandments. So how would he think of murder and so forth?
No, he gave the 10 Commandments after Moses, like the 10 Commandments to Moses, and that's after the people have he already wiped out the people once because of their great wickedness.
Okay.
Right? And so that was really cool to me. And so when the punishment for sin is death, then I thought about it. Why is it that I don't...
So he knows of it, but he doesn't think of it?
He knows that evil exists. Anything that is not in his good plan...
No, I mean, he says right here that, they do this thing that didn't even come to my mind.
Yeah.
Right? So... But I mean, murder is a bad thing, an evil thing. Right. Yeah, it comes to his mind.
No, I think he knew about murder after it happened.
After Cain and Abel?
Yeah. He says that sin is crouching at their door. Or maybe evil thoughts, he knows about it when we think about it. Because he's in our heart and he knows our thoughts, right?
I think this is something we'll have to ask him. We'll have to ask him.
Yeah.
When we die, we'll ask him.
But that's what
Because, it would be correct if then he wouldn't issue that thou shalt not murder. Therefore, he knows. And it occurs to him, it comes to his mind.
No, but he issued that after people already did that.
Yes.
He didn't say you shall not murder before Cain murdered Abel.
This is Jeremiah.
Yeah, Jeremiah's way after Noah.
Well, it could also mean that it just shows the free will that he gives to people. That it didn't even come to his mind that they would exercise their will to do such evil.
What does that mean?
That means, reaffirming that God gave us free will.
Yeah, I understand.
Yeah, that he did not command us, or predestine us to do certain things.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
I understand that, but the revelation that I got that was like mind blowing to me is like all of his thoughts are good. All of that God's thoughts are good. That's why God confidently say to us, all of my plans for you are good, and he's for us, and he has good plan for us, and he's not against us. So when I think about it in those contexts, I felt like God is so good, and like that evil thoughts can't even come to him.
Mm-hmm,
right? Mm-hmm. And that validate everything that the Bible says about him.
Yeah, but this was they built all, and their sons and daughters to the God. Wasn't this after Moses?
Yeah, that's after Moses.
But he said, it did not even enter my mind. But this is after Moses. So
I think he knew about murder, but he wouldn't know. Well, he didn't think that they would murder their own children and offer it to this false god. That's what I understood.
Thank you for the nice pictures.
Yeah, but Abraham was about to sacrifice his only son.
But God never ordered, like he didn't let that come.
Yeah, but
because that was going to be a picture of him.
Yeah.
His sacrifice.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah, but he did tell Abraham to do so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you don't agree with me that God can't even think of evil?
What do you think of the new card I've created with Papa John?
I think I say he would know of it, but he wouldn't do anything evil. So all his works are just, like, even the Sodom and Gomorrah and so forth. It's not evil. But then again, that's like the glass half, where the critics are like, oh, genocide killed off people, right?
Yeah, but that's what I say. When I think about it in context of death.
That's why I say
death was the consequence of sin.
I think I have to ask him.
But I haven't even finished my sentence yet. So I thought of it in terms of death, and death is a consequence of sin. But to me, death is not evil. Death is an end to evil. When you have so much like sin in the world, to escape from it is death. And so to me, death is not evil, and God doesn't do anything that's evil. And so, and when he feels like punishment for sin is death, it's just to him.
It's
and so it's not even evil.
Just,
But then because of there being death, people used it to commit sin against each other, evil. And so when I think about all that together, it makes sense to me. Like it makes me appreciate God like even more. But I guess you don't agree with. He can't even think of evil. I feel like he knows of evil, but he won't like creatively think of evil things to do or evil things that people can do.
You could say in that sense that he doesn't think of evil acts that people do.
What do you mean?
Because these are evil acts.
Yeah.
So I think this may be a mischance. Maybe it could be like another way of saying it's unbelievable that they would do such a thing.
Like,
That, yeah,
is it,
maybe
is it
it's
a
better
figure
to.
of speech?
I think it's a figure of
Or
speech.
God literally say, it didn't even cross my mind.
You know, people, you even now as you talk about it, people use, you know, it's unbelievable. I mean, they
Right.
can't even think of it because it
Right.
never, yeah, because they're incapable. Huh?
Right. And
But at
that's
the same
exactly-
time, yeah. But I think it's this figure of speech. I think,
Even if it's
yeah,
a figure of speech,
you know,
it's
it's
true.
like you know it happens, like stuff happens, but for someone to do it, you know.
Yeah, like
It-
because
it's
you
like,
trust
let's
that
say-
person so much.
Yeah, let's say we have a good neighbor, right? And then suddenly you found out that, you know, he
It's a
murders.
serial killer,
Yeah, it's
yeah.
like, you know, what did he do? It's like, it's unbelievable. It's like, huh? It didn't even occur to me that he is. Yeah, so
Exactly.
it's a figure of speech.
That's exactly what I understand.
Mhm.
But the thing is
But
that
then
if God
they
is
just
all-knowing,
yeah.
right, and it didn't even cross his mind, does he trust his people so much that it didn't cross his mind? Or is it because he can't even conceive of the evil things that they might do? And so when I think about it in terms of how Natasha Crane like explained it, that there are limits to what God can do. He's all powerful, but only all powerful in a good way.
Okay.
He can't do things that are bad. And so
Right.
when I think about that and I apply that to his thought process, I'm like, wow, God is all good. Like he knows, like I
Okay.
feel like he's a
Yeah,
decision
yeah.
tree,
So
right?
so he knows of evil, but he doesn't, because he said he didn't command them to do this,
Right.
meaning he, you know, didn't
It's not
think.
from him.
Yeah,
Yeah. Those evil thoughts, those
Are
evil
not from
seed
him.
are not from him. But once they conceive it, like once they think about it, then he knows what they plan to do. I think that's how God works.
Or he actually saw them do it.
No,
They
because
do.
he knows the thoughts of all men. And
Okay,
he
yeah.
knows like for example, when Cain was going to murder Abel, he said sin is knocking at your door. But you can
'cause
overcome it.
It's a thought. Okay.
Right? So I think that's like when I
So
thought
so
of
then
that,
that
I'm like,
means
wow.
that he can see the future.
Yeah, but he can see the future as a consequence. I think of it as a decision tree. Once
Well,
a thought leads to
No,
an
no,
action.
stop saying that. You've said that right in the trial so many times. Huh?
Okay, but think
So,
about it as a
no.
decision tree.
No, it's, you know, because then, you know, Jesus knew what had to be done and so forth.
Yeah,
See?
yeah. He knows what has to
Yeah,
be done.
so
Once
it-
there is a thought, then the decision tree appears, and then he knows all the possible outcomes. Don't you think that's all knowing? What is all
I
knowing?
think it's reading far beyond this.
Oh,
Yeah.
I don't know. I
Yeah.
think it makes sense.
Okay, well, we can ask him, but it's reading far into it, beyond.
I think you're only saying that because I went to a
No,
psychotic.
no,
illness.
really. Because, you know, it's into a thing like he knows all, right? But then you're saying, yeah, once the thought occurs, but if the thought doesn't occur, then he doesn't know? No, he knows it. You know?
No, if a thought, if
He
a
knows
thought
something
doesn't
happens even
wait,
people were born.
if a thought doesn't occur, wait,
Okay, so,
he knows stuff before people. What if he?
that's why it's something that we can ask him when, because I feel it's the figures. Because this is,
Yeah, how does that work if we're not born yet?
that's why you don't.
No, but when we're not born and he wants us to be born, it's only he promises good things. It's only when we do evil things that our life get derailed.
No.
Yeah. Like
No.
perpetual sin. He knows cycle of sins happen in a person's life.
There's poor Job.
What?
He didn't do anything wrong.
No, but Job is a test from God. That's
Yeah.
different. But God already know that Job won't sin.
Okay. But still, you got all this tests and so forth,
But that's irrelevant to this discussion.
It's like people go through trials and tribulations. So is it a test or is it the result of their sin?
Some of it is a test, and some of it is a result of their sin.
And they won't know, right?
They won't
Until
know.
they meet the Lord. Yeah.
Right. But that's irrelevant to the situation.
Yeah.
Well, anyways, okay.
Yeah, I think
Fine.
maybe if you look at the directions, it may be different, Because they have to make it in such a way that it's also prayer, because it's a prayer, right?
No,
Jeremiah,
it's not.
yeah.
It's not like that. People don't translate like that. I know.
They do. There are different wordings that, when you go back to the original text, like, oh, it means this. But the translation translates to this.
I have
Yeah.
found a lot of places where, like, if you say that, then how can you believe in the Bible?
Hmm?
How can you believe in any translation of the Bible?
No.
God directed it too.
They even pointed out certain translations where if you go back to the root, you get a clearer meaning of it.
A clearer meaning,
Yeah.
but not like change of meaning.
No, it's not a change of meaning.
Like, even if you say it uses figure of speech, it means the same thing.
Okay.
It's still the conflict between foreknowledge and the translation means the same
Well,
thing.
let's see. What is it? Jeremiah what?
Mm,
Huh?
Let me see. Jeremiah 32.
Verse 35.
Yeah, I think it's 35. Yeah. Oops. What happened?
35 and 36.
Maybe.
Thì ơi cho ba nói chuyện sống này con. Chưa xong con.
Hmm.
Yeah. Here, you can read. Huh? Or you could read it together.
Okay.
Read
Where is it?
Yeah.
Which, starting with
Yeah.
this verse?
Start the whole thing.
This verse is simply a recounting of an earlier account of Judah's sinfulness. I will repost on Jeremiah. Okay, is the Lord actually saying that he did not think of something? Even
Doesn't
God
make
knows
sense.
all things as well as potential. That means God can know all things in the present tense. Possibility of things that could exist, like a decision tree. Certainly, God knew the past sin of Israel.
You're comparing shit into like a computer. God is more than that.
Yeah,
So
I know
no,
he's more
don't
than that,
reframe
but
it to the human computer.
in the past. So it doesn't make sense that he never thought of something. Yeah, so many translations translate this as and it did not come into my mind. Cardia, heart. What's interesting is that he uses the Greek word cardia, heart, instead of the
Oh.
Greek word for mind.
heart
it
would
did
be
not
different.
come
Like,
into my
I don't
heart.
want this to happen. Huh?
Since
Right.
we can conclude that God can contemplate all potential form of rebellion, we can also conclude that God is addressing the issue of human moral behavior instead of expressing
เอาบา
ignorance,
หรืออะไรเด้อ
since that is what God is talking about. In other words, their sin did not enter the intention of God's heart in his plan for Judah. What does that mean? What does it mean? Their sin did not enter the intention of God's heart in his
That
plans
means
for
God-
Judah.
In his plan for Judah, I'm saying that no, again, what we said, that he doesn't intend evil for, huh?
Yeah,
or any-
no intention of
Yeah,
evil for
so-
them.
Yeah, so he had no intention of evil, yet they did such wickedness. Because the first word said, remember, I did not command them,
Yeah,
right? So a comma, huh? Comma, I had no plan for them, right? I did not command them. I didn't tell them to do it, and I had no plan in their heart for such evil.
I don't know. I think it's the same thing.
Hey. But the whole point is then that God knows all.
Or
Their sin
maybe
did
it
not-
can be translated as, or it might mean God in his heart did not intend for Judah to be so evil.
Because they have
Giúp nữa con.
Because, yeah. Because he says in multiple. They have built the high places of Topheth, which is the vow to burn their sons in the fire. Why are there different Jeremiah?
This is 7:19. We were in Jeremiah 32.
Yeah, but it's the same.
Yeah.
High place of Baal, burn their sons.
Mhm.
At Valley Baal, which are the valley of son of Hinnon.
Mhm.
Huh?
Mhm.
So there's multiple, or it's the same thing.
Yeah.
Repeating. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. The same question,
Yeah.
because there are so many more references
Yeah.
to he knows all future events, huh?
Right.
And commanded trust, sacrificing each time in the sight. He distanced himself from such a practice by saying that he never commanded them to do it. And then, as though to accentuate the point, he said that never entered his heart. The context does not suggest shock, as though God did not see these abominations coming. The context suggests a crescendo of disgust and distancing. So I don't, huh? Like I said, huh? Yeah, it's yeah. Like distancing away, like how would we say we know, like ourselves, right? We know about marriage, and someone's like, it's unbelievable. Like, can't believe someone would do such a thing, right?
But for us, we really can't
And
believe
thus,
it.
but human is capable of all things, and we know of it, huh? Later speaking, God had thought of these things before, which is why he forbid the people of Israel from such behavior in Leviticus and Deuteronomy.
Right.
Yeah, like which I said, it's only just from Testament, but they go on further. Well, Deuteronomy is part of it. Huh?
Well, I think he forbid it because he saw the other, like he knows everyone, and he knows all other nations does it, and it's abominable to him.
Yeah.
And so, but then
Because
for
that's why I say he did
Israel
not
to
command
do
and he
it,
further
Yeah.
continue that, right?
right?
Yeah. Saying that, that
But for Judah to be someone that he commands good thing and he brought them and he did only good thing for them, like for it to enter their heart to do such a thing to follow the
Yeah.
nation, it's like
it's sort of like saying it's so ungodly. Yeah, it's not him at all. Like
Yeah,
it's
it's
not
not
his
him.
it's not his doing.
yeah, it's
Yeah,
not
at
his
all.
oh yeah, it's not his
it's like
doing.
it's not my doing because I did not command you to comma,
Yeah,
right? And it's not my doing.
yeah,
Yeah, so
it's not his doing.
yeah,
I
so
understand that
so
it's not his doing.
about. So I wouldn't think it's that what you said before. Huh? He knows all, but I think he's stating this to say just that. It's like how we would say so, how it's beyond belief. I'm so disgusted about this. It's beyond belief. Huh? Like I don't even want to think about it because the thought of me thing is so disgusting to me.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like he doesn't want to think
No,
about
no.
it, and those thoughts doesn't even like
Yeah,
come
but
to him because it's
no,
so evil.
No, he knows of it. And,
He knows of it.
and
yeah.
he knows that it happens, but
Yeah.
he's saying this to the people
Right.
that it's so disgusting that I don't even want to think about it. We see stuff that happens, and then when we talk about it, right,
Yeah.
right? What do you do when you don't want to talk about it, or you're so troubled by it? It's like, I don't even want to think about it. Just get it away from me, right?
Yeah.
And then we just block the thought out of our head. Yeah, saying this way that but
So it's
It's
so
just-
repulsive.
yeah, so it's like this is not my. I don't even. I want it to come into my mind. So of course he knows all. So yeah. And then that would coincide with everything else of the Bible.
He doesn't allow sinful thoughts to come into him.
Yeah. And when it does, he, it's so bad that he doesn't want to think of it. Yeah, just like how we are. We don't want to think about evil things. Well, unless we are evil, and then we all think about it. Like war, killing. It's like, Yeah. Then other people say, "Oh, you're just being ignorant," but there's just some thought that
Yeah.
not good to have.
Yeah. The
Yeah.
Bible said to be what was that verse? It was
You still recording?
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
To be
Oh,
No,
okay.
I say-
Okay, well, yeah. You can look it up.
something about like to be innocent in the ways of evil.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which is,
To be wise but innocent, naive in the way of evil.
yeah, which is why it's not
Yeah.
know out of mind or heart to not know. But of course he does.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's a good translation of it, or like good summary of that meaning. Yeah, it fits in the context
Of
too.
everything else.
Yeah,
Yeah.
with the verse and with everything else.
Okay.
Thank you.
All